Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be doing a throwing breakdown on Jayden Daniels, and we'll start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. We don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so this is probably long overdue. Just wanted to go ahead and break down some of the key things that we see within Jayden Daniels' throw that really separates himself when comparing his throw to other quarterbacks. The longer I do this, the more I do this, the more it's obvious how much different some of you guys are throwing the football and how that is negatively impacting your performance in comparison to somebody like a Jayden Daniels who has multiple pro teams after him, ended up going from Arizona State to LSU, basically starting right away. And, just really is able to showcase his skill set in a very, very easy way. So here, this is just a general, just kind of deep throw. Looks like he's at about the 25-yard line here. Easily puts that foot right down on the ground. Okay. And that's like the first thing here is I just see so many guys that as they're loading into that back leg, they almost ends up being two separate parts of the throw where it's a load of the back leg and then a step with the front foot, where really the load of the back leg should be working simultaneously with the step of the front foot, right? So notice how he's here, he's loading into that back foot, loading into the back hip, and also simultaneously taking that step with that front leg and loading the football. So now once he gets into this position, front foot down, he has the ball loaded and he's ready to begin the process of rotating within the hips and driving that elbow through. Okay, so once the timing ends up being off here, then the whole throw is messed up. Okay, so what we see is people will load and won't have that front foot down. So now they're not ready to begin the process of rotating the hips, but are starting the process of driving their elbow through. Or a lot of times what ends up happening is now the ball gets stuck coming back behind, right? Because there's this extra period of time where the body is really ready to start the process of throwing the football, but I guess the arm is ready, but the body is not ready, or the lower half is not ready. So now we end up adding extra time into the upper body to compensate for what is happening in the lower body. Then we see as he's coming through here, really good job with that front shoulder. Okay, another common thing that we're seeing is so many people, as they want to throw the ball, they want to lean over with that front shoulder. They want to really drive that front shoulder open. I know that Justin Herbert is somebody that has kind of open the window to that being a common thing that we see. But with Justin Herbert's throw, one, he is a really tall guy, right? He's kind of similar to Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco also does that with that front shoulder, uses that front shoulder a lot more, but he has long levers, so he can get away with it a little bit more. If you're not over 6'3", that's just not going to be something that you can do on a consistent basis, just because the levers don't work out. You have to be much more compact with your throw when you are under 6'3", right? And use your body well. Here we can see him loading into that back leg, right? Again, he's sitting back into that back hip, gets that front foot down. As soon as that front foot's down, we can see with him on this one, he's getting more rotation already here with that back leg, and he's really allowing himself to get a large amount of back bend here. Okay, so if you're a quarterback, another thing that you want to be aware of is how much range of motion do you have in that lumbar spine or the lower end of your thoracic spine. So it's like T12 through maybe T8, let's say. We need to have plenty of range of motion. Really, in the thoracic spine in general, we have to have plenty of extension. And within the lumbar spine, we have to have plenty of extension. I really like doing exercises like scorpions and things where you are really able to stretch your lower back and also be able to extend in your thoracic spine to help you in being able to maximize that. So we can see with what he does with the ball here. I know there's been people that have reached out to me in the past to talk about how you don't want to end up dropping the ball too much, right? I do like the rhythm with having this type of action with the ball, right? You don't want to drop too low, but I think having some degree of a drop helps with being able to properly load the shoulder. Okay, so I like that drop there. I like what he's doing with the front foot, how he's landing with the front foot. I feel like he can probably even get more rotation in that back leg. It seems like he gets a lot of a push off the back leg, which is obviously fine. He does a good job of it. Just puts his low back into a little bit more of a potential issue, right? Like you can end up having some extension issues in the back, maybe some disc problems, stuff like that, where if he generated more rotation through the foot and through the hips, that would help him in being able to generate a little bit more force with his hips and the lower half of his body rather than relying so much on his core, which it seems like he uses a lot of. He uses a lot of that spine, a lot of that core as he's going through. Oh, yeah. So he's really driving on this one. So notice the difference, right? He's really taking a longer stride. He still, though, gets that front foot down right away. Just takes a little bit longer stride, kind of loads into it, and lets that ball get behind him more. Okay, so he lets the ball get further back this way as he's loading up. And then from there, really drives that elbow through and really creates a lot of rotation in that back leg. Notice how he's not really hyperextending here within that front knee. He's really generating a lot of force through the hips and really extending all the way out in front of him with that arm. I know it's a little bit the view is not perfect, or the ability to zoom in makes it so there's a little pixelated, but we can still see that he's really extending really far out in front of him here as he's going through the throw, which helps him really put a lot of force on the ball. Okay, the better we could do of being able to do that and being able to control that load, the better we're going to be with the throw there. We can again see this back view. Okay, he's really driving through that back leg. See, from here, it doesn't even really look like he's taking that long of a stride, and it also doesn't look like he's really trying to create that much force on it. I just love how well he does of being able to get that elbow all the way through, all the way around, and then come straight down from that position. We see a lean, but we don't see a ton of lean. We see a lot of action happening within the wrist, which I think is what we need to be able to see in order to consistently see the results as a quarterback. We'll have another back view here. This is another kind of longer pass. Okay, and just look how fast he gets that wrist around, right? He's getting that front foot down, boom. Okay, and I love this. I mean, I've sent this exact view to a few different quarterbacks so they could see what I'm talking about when it comes to throwing that deeper throw. Okay, look at how fast he's here. And then from this position, one frame, right? So here, one frame, 2 frames, 3 frames. Look at how much action he's got in that wrist, even just from here to here, right? He's got that nose of the football all the way around. So by the time he's here, he's got a lot of extension, that low back, right? And we'll add in a couple exercises here to make it so you guys can see what those scorpion exercises are, what those thoracic extension exercises are. You got to have plenty of range of motion in your low back. Even doing like upward dog, downward dog, stuff like that, all will help you in being able to create more extension in the spine, which will help you be able to generate more into the throw. But now we could see as he's coming through how well he does at being able to consistently get that elbow moving, right? See how he's keeping that elbow in front as he's going through the throw. I think that's an important thing to be able to really distinguish and understand, is being able to keep that elbow in front as we're driving through the throw, as we're going through those last little parts of the throwing motion in order to really maximize your performance. So as always, guys, if you like the information, click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. A lot of great information here, guys, to really help you out in understanding how to throw the ball more effectively, how to throw the ball further. And I think if you continue to watch this channel, I think you should be picking up things all the time when it comes to understanding throwing mechanics and understanding how to better coordinate the throw, sync up the throw, get the timing right, and really also be able to understand what parts of your body you need to be able to improve in order to make it so you can consistently gain more and more when it comes to throwing the ball not only further, but also with more power and not as much wasted movement. Okay, so part of it is going to be being able to, increase the overall performance, right? The distance, the power, things like that. But really, we want to also make it so it's an efficient movement, right? So you're getting the ball out of your hands quick. It would be good, pitchers, there's no real, as long as you start the motion when it comes to pitching, the time clock starts or turns off, I guess, right? Because now there's this time clock. Well, for quarterbacks, it's not like that, right? You don't really have as much time as you want to go through that windup, right? You have to be able to get the ball out of your hands quickly because there's linemen coming to tackle you and there's guys that are coming open. It's a lot more of a timing type of a play and movement pattern that's happening. So you have to understand how to become more efficient, more effective within the throw in order to be the best quarterback that you possibly can, and also make it so you can make the progress that you're going to see, the results that you want to see that will get you to the next level. And what I mean by that is being able to play at the highest levels, right? Being able to play Saturdays, being able to play Sundays. You're not going to be able to get the same level of overall development if you are not able to have an efficient throwing motion, aren't able to get the ball out of your hands quickly. And so that's why we put a big focus on that within our program. Not only the distance, but also how efficient are you getting the ball out of your hand. And that a lot of times alleviates some of the pain that quarterbacks are feeling in their elbows, shoulders, things like that. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, check out some of the things we have in the description. We have the Throw 60 program. We have Quarterback University. Those things are meant to be able to set you up to succeed as a quarterback, make it so you can get a lot of information and really some helpful details, helpful coaching when it comes to your development as a quarterback. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.